What's up, guys? How we doing? How we doing? Sorry for the different lighting. Persephone isn't awake yet. I got up a little bit earlier than normal because I'm trying to get back on normal schedule. And well, I just wanted to point out for a second that I've been really tired lately, burnt out even, and I think it definitely shows in my videos, and I definitely think that's a correlation for as to why view count is down. And I'm sorry, you guys deserve better. I appreciate all of you that have subscribed to me and invested time into either one video or all, or however many you watch, and I appreciate you being here. And I've just been so worn out, so off schedule, so just, burnt out, overthinking, the list goes on. But you guys deserve better, and to give you guys the best content, to mentally do the best and come up with the best ideas, I really gotta put myself first and rest and stop trying to force it so much, and all things that I'm still learning and whatnot. And I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your patience, and we're just gonna keep pushing through. That's all you can do. And if there's anything I hope you take away from this channel, it's to just always keep pushing through, no matter what's going on in life. And it's always been kind of a main point of everything that I've talked about, just to always keep going, no matter what it is in life and what you're trying to pursue, and believe in yourself. And anyway, I thought I would use this as an opportunity to just kind of talk about something I enjoyed. I've been trying to watch more movies lately. I really haven't been watching movies just because there haven't been too many out that have caught my eye, or I just haven't had the time. That's why I like watching YouTube. It's easier to watch a 10 to 20 minute video and then do some dishes or whatever than to sit down for a 2.5 hour long movie, or hour and a half, whatever. But they're starting to get up to 2.5 quite often. But Minecraft movie and Transformers 1, I've tried to sit down with Persephone and watch, and neither of them grabbed her attention for very long. Transformers 1 caught her attention for longer, but not through the whole thing. But I kind of wanted to talk about both of them, maybe go into spoiler territory, and just do a deep dive into how vastly different these movies performed, and how vastly different the movies are in quality. I mean, I know art is subjective and whatever, but let's start off with the Minecraft movie. Finally got to watch the $1 billion movie that was memed to death, and so exciting that everybody threw popcorn on people for. And while I'll say it's better than I thought it was gonna be, it's pretty mid. It's pretty middle of the road. I would absolutely give it a 2.5 out of 5. Really, what I liked about it most was the chemistry between Jack Black and Jason Momoa, and watching interviews of Jack Black and learning that him and Jason Momoa would, in their trailer, play guitar together, play Metallica, and rock out, and they had a good friendship going. You can see that in the movie, and I definitely think that's the best element of the movie. But as far as like how it's written, the spoilers, the way they discover, the Minecraft world and whatnot, it's just not very good. It's visually stunning, visually spectacular. They really made it look polished, nice, and I definitely think it's better than Super Mario Bros. There's some jokes that land. I would say 20% of them do. And just because it's a kids movie doesn't mean the writing and the humor has to be bad. I'm glad the movie made a lot of money because I'm happy for cinema. I love movies, and whatever keeps the younger generation influenced in watching movies, I'm happy for. So I'm happy the movie exists, but I really don't want to get to a place where like Super Mario Bros. And Minecraft movie, they're visually stunning, but they're kind of empty as far as the story, as far as the dialogue, as far as how it's written. It's just, they're kind of empty. All the effort goes into the graphics, and then story comes second. And it works. It makes $1 billion, but I grew up with watching, Monsters Inc., Finding Nemo, Wall-E, these amazing movies that hold up to this day in terms of writing and what they're trying to say and teach you. And Minecraft, the lesson is good too, but I don't really like the whole, if you're creative out in the open world, you get dunked on and made fun of and bullied for being creative and nerdy. If anything, we live in a time where being creative is more rewarding than ever. But visually spectacular. Story was okay. I know enough about Minecraft to understand the references. And it was a kids movie. I definitely wasn't the target demographic. The game of Minecraft is okay, but the jokes didn't really land. The references were nice nods, not worth throwing popcorn on somebody, but decent enough. It passed the bar. I like the cast. The main character and his sister, the dynamic there, it's kind of as generic as possible, but visually stunning. It was a movie. That's a Minecraft movie. It lived up to that. It is a Minecraft movie. But it wasn't that impressive to me anyway. But now let's talk about Transformers 1. Transformers 1 I watched last night, and I was absolutely blown away. Fantastic movie. And they're both kids' movies, but one of them is so, superiorly written compared to the other. And I understand that Transformers might be a little more niche than Minecraft, but another visually spectacular movie. Both of them visually stunning. We really are reaching an age with the animation where our kids are spoiled. Like the animation is insanely good in Transformers, and it's just very well written. We get a story here, basically an origin story for how Orion Pax and D16 became Optimus Prime and Megatron, and this is the telling of a fallout of a friendship. And I think the cast is great. You got Chris Hemsworth, Scarlett Johansson, Brian Henry, the guy from Bullet Train. They all do a great job. My only complaint is they try to make Chris Hemsworth towards the end of the movie sound exactly like the original Optimus, and it just kind of came off like he was doing an impression. But that's my only little nitpick with the movie. There's more, but this isn't meant to be a full-on review. But there's very little to nitpick here. First of all, the movie is stunning. It's just spectacular looking. It's so pretty. But so is Minecraft. So they both got that going for it. But somehow a movie about robots managed to tell a story that's so human, and it was just amazing. The character development, all the characters I think are great. The action sequences are phenomenal. They fight in only ways Transformers could. And, they Sentinel Prime, like, spoilers, like, so Sentinel Prime, is the leader, and basically we're in Cybertron where uh, most Transformers don't have their Korgs, and then the Transformers that do basically, are used as authority figures and badasses, and it's a telling of two people that are pretty different. Orion questions life and thinks he's capable of more, and wonders if there's more to this than just mining for Energon. And Sentinel Prime's out looking for the matrix of leadership, and D16 really looks up to Sentinel Prime and just wants to go to work, make people proud, stick to the script. And so Orion, he, kind of gets Orion out of trouble quite a bit, and they do a really, really good job of making you empathize with D16's character. And all the characters here are really greatly written. I've seen a lot of complaints on Keegan-Michael Key as B127, which is clearly Bumblebee. A lot of people didn't like the joke that, okay, Bumblebee's been gagged with no vocals, so let's make him over talk. But as somebody who's been alone all of his life, I get his humor, especially with my last couple of years. And really, even the side villain, Arachnid, she is badass and threatening. It's a very good story. The action sequences are amazing. It's visually stunning. The character development is good. The writing is good. Each Transformer, with their design, you can see which place goes where and like how they're going to transform. And so much went into the illustration of these bots. I think it's very awesome. Like, very badass. The sequences are really cool. How they managed to set everything up is good. Like the nods of how, this guy started leading them, and this guy started leading them, and who became what, and all the answers in the movie are just very well naturally fleshed out. And I do not think this is a prequel to the Bay series. Somebody said, not the director, I think it might have been a writer in an interview, that this was a prequel. There's no way this is a prequel because there's no connective tissue whatsoever. I think this was a standalone universe and origin story, and they had a planned trilogy, but this bombed at the box office. Just absolutely bombed. I love this movie. I think this is the best Transformers movie since the first live-action Transformers. And maybe a controversial take, I really liked Dark of the Moon. Fans seem to be split on that one. It's very long, but when you get to that second half of Dark of the Moon, it's really badass in my opinion. But yeah, such a good movie, but it barely made its money back. And I think it's interesting to look at why. Like, why is one movie that's mid, subjectively, art is subjective, but it's Transformers is definitely better written. Like, it's definitely more thought and time and care went into this movie. So why did one make $1 billion and one fail? And I think that's heavily due to marketing. The trailers for Transformers 1 made this movie look like something that it was not, made it look like it was 80% comedy, when really it's teeter-tottering on that line of being a PG to PG-13 movie. It's very action-based, it's very emotional, it's very, like I said, human. They go, down this life lesson of, it's not the, Korg inside of us that makes us, it's the spark inside of us that makes us unique, that matters, that fuels the decisions that we make. And it's such a good story, and I think it does such a great job at giving you all the answers, why, Megatron becomes Megatron, and how, and why he gets that name, and how Optimus Prime comes to be. And I don't want to walk you through the whole movie and make this 30 minutes, but If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's worth a watch. It's on Amazon Prime and it's on Paramount Plus, while Minecraft is on HBO Max. I wouldn't say don't check out Minecraft. I do think it's worth the view. It is visually stunning. It's just what worries me is Minecraft was a script that could have been spit out by AI, you know? And if that's what's working, just making a movie as stunning as possible and like then it being so hollow, that makes $1 billion like with the Mario movie, but then something like this doesn't. Like, I'm worried we're going to get to a place where, AI is just spitting out scripts for these kids' movies and we just focus on making it as eye catching as possible and we're good. Now, I say that, but again, Transformers 1 was visually stunning. I think the marketing didn't do it much justice. It made it look way more kiddish than it really was. And that's why I think the adults that are Transformers fans didn't really take their kids to it because, I don't know, they maybe thought it was going to be too kiddish, and by this point we're burnt out on Transformers, right? And it wasn't enough to win over people that weren't Transformers fans. The movies are a visual spectacle that people that aren't really Transformers fans like went and watched and enjoyed because of the Michael Bay-isms and the graphics. And it's just a shame it failed because I really want more to this story and could see the complete trilogy. Even if it ends with just this, I'm happy we got it. I think it's a phenomenal movie, but it's so insane to me, the creativity that went into this. Like, you can look at the Transformers and tell which part is going to transform into where, and it works. Like, so much went into this, and it's very well written. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Go check it out. And not trying to shit on a Minecraft movie. I would argue it has a larger fan base. It was a meme movie, but God, it's disappointing to view them back to back, have such a different reaction to both of them. And this one sucked as far as performance, and this one didn't. And it's like, man, and Super Mario Brothers, I don't think was that good either. The dialogue was terrible. The jokes were terrible in the Super Mario Brothers movie. I wanted to like it, but it wasn't very good. And I know it's all subjective. You may disagree, and if you like these movies, all the power to you. I just think it's definitely worth looking at as to why one worked and one didn't. And I think it's got to come down to marketing, got to come down to, if really that marketing really fucked this movie into oblivion. And I would say it's more niche. And it's sad that it didn't do as good. But word of mouth does not seem to matter as much as it used to, and because everybody on social media said Transformers 1 was good, but still people didn't go out to see it. And when your trailer sucks and you're relying on word of mouth and social media to do the job for you, it's not always going to work out. And I don't know. I absolutely love this movie. I'd give it a 4 out of 5, while I'd give Minecraft a 2.5 out of 5. I think it's interesting because when you look at it, they succeeded in two different ways. One succeeded in being a good movie, and one succeeded financially. And which one do you consider to be the ultimate success? Succeeding financially or succeeding at being good? And it's just interesting to me. Anyway, I love you guys. I know I haven't been on stream the last couple nights like I said I would be. But I needed to rest. I needed to get back on schedule. And hopefully I'll be on tonight. I love you guys. Thank you for watching.